For me, it's very personal. I have a family history of people that have lived with dementia. Being able to draw on the feelings that I had and the memories that I have with these people that have lived with these diseases has really helped continue to motivate me to, first was to enter the field, but it helps me to continue to come into our laboratory each day to try to find something new that we think could be transformative for people in the present and in the future. One of the greatest things about the Cure Alzheimer's Fund is an emphasis on collaborative science. So I'm at Washington University in St. Louis, but through the funding that I've received from Cure Alzheimer's Fund, it's connected me with other experts around the world to try to tackle the scientific questions that we want to interrogate. And in particular, one of the things that I'm focused on is understanding factors outside of the brain that could modify the trajectory of Alzheimer's disease, with the idea that even though there are new therapies that are emerging in the clinic right now, could we identify even earlier factors or early interventions that don't involve pharmaceuticals to change the trajectory of someone's risk to get Alzheimer's disease or dementia later in life? What gives me hope is a decade ago when I first entered the field, everyone, when they were requesting funding, writing grants, the first line of their applications is essentially, there are no disease-modifying treatments for Alzheimer's disease. And in the past few years, that has been a statement that has essentially been eradicated. And that has led to a lot of excitement in the field. But through these clinical trials, we've also learned that we have to try to identify the underlying pathologies that are contributing to dementia as early as possible. So now we are moving towards this framework of trying to identify with different markers, even outside the brain, if someone is starting to see disease pathology in the brain. And what really gives me hope is thinking that instead of the focus on if an individual has suffered cognitive impairment already and a lot of irreversible damage has already happened in the brain, we're going to be able to put up a warning sign more quickly for people and intervene earlier and prevent possibly these things from happening, even in people who might have a strong genetic risk for the disease. But that is complicated unto itself if we think about the translation of that concept into reality. So what I appreciate about organizations like the Cure Alzheimer's Fund is being bold when people say, I want to go as early as possible, and here's my strategy and goal, and they will be supportive of those sorts of ideas that might be a little different from the convention of a lot of the work that's been done over the past few decades. So I'm appreciative and excited by the opportunities that are afforded by our funding with this organization.